I'm Chioma Ikokwu. I'm fun-loving, bubbly, entertaining. I don't necessarily like to be referred to as an influencer, but do I influence people? Absolutely. People just think I'm unapproachable. They sometimes get intimidated by me, but that's not the case. I'm completely different to what I look like.
Welcome everyone to Pop Culture with Tatiana. I am honored today to be joined by my friend, Chioma Ikokwu. She's a successful entrepreneur with more than 500,000 followers on Instagram and Snapchat. She is the co-owner of the Good Hair space and restaurant Brass and Copper Lifestyle here in Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on the podcast today.
Thanks for having me.
How have you been lately?
Not bad, just, little stressed, tired. You know how it is with work and everything, but, living.
I can imagine, I can imagine. Well, on top of everything I've just mentioned, last year, Chioma, you made the jump to reality TV star as one of the main cast members of the inaugural season of the Real Housewives of Lagos. But before we talk about that, I don't know if many people know this, but you're also a lawyer. Do you still find time to practice law with everything that you do?
I won't lie, it's becoming increasingly hard. But luckily for me, I do love law. And with everything that I do, there's always the legal aspect, whether it's signing an NDA for
Yeah.
a particular project or, creating like agreements for like some of my friends, contractual agreements, property agreements. Even in the influencer space, sometimes when you partner with companies, there's certain times that you have to come up with your
You
own.
have to read the fine
I
print
read the
all
fine
the
print,
time.
or I come up with my own document.
Right.
So it really, really comes in handy.
No, no, absolutely. I can imagine. So, how did you tell me the story of how you ended up being on The Real Housewives? Like, how was the build up? How did you get to that point?
In fact, I think all the girls have been extra nice to Choma. I don't know why.
If you disrespect me, I'll give it back to you.
Yeah, you are not like that. How dare you?
You support them or you say something to disrespect me. I don't like it.
When you are wrong, I will tell you are wrong.
And you tell me you're going to slap me again, I will lose it with you.
Sorry, mommy.
The book that you're talking about, how much have you made from the book? What?
Sorry.
If anybody said to me 2 years ago, Choma, you're going to be on reality TV, I would have been like, you're crazy. Like, it's not, I don't even watch reality TV.
Really?
I
At
don't,
all?
No, not at all. I don't watch it. I don't enjoy it. I just kind of like, maybe I had the wrong impression about it. Maybe I thought like it didn't necessarily have like very intelligent people or like, I don't know what I thought about it, but reality TV was not my thing. And so when I got approached initially, I was like, absolutely not. Like, I'm not interested. This is not something I want to do. And, they came back to me a couple times, and I would say try to convince me as to why I should be on the show and this and that. And I was just like, I just don't see how this is going to benefit me, And plus, like, as much as like I'm in the public space, I wasn't in the entertainment space,
Right.
And there's a difference. The fact that I wear nice clothes and I'm on social media and I do all these like different reels and stuff, it doesn't mean that I'm in entertainment, And it's not something that I ever wanted to join anyway. So it didn't make any sense to me. But for whatever reason, I was like, you know what, let me speak to my family members because I'm super close to my family. I don't know if people know this, but like I'm obsessed
I
with
think
my
people
family.
know this. You mentioned it a few times in the show, but yeah, that's
it's like-
amazing though. You're very blessed.
My family is everything and we run everything, by each other. So I kind of like put in the family group. I was like, guys, what do you think about like, the Real Housewives of, and of course my dad is like, what is that? My mom's like, I think my mom knew
But
what
The
it
Real
was.
Housewives is a huge
Everybody,
franchise.
everybody knows about it,
Yeah.
but my dad is just like, what is that, And so I spoke to them, funny enough, individually, and collectively, and it was like split down the middle.
Okay.
Some people were like, you know what, go for it. What's the worst that can happen? If you don't like it, you don't have to do another season.
Fair enough.
My sister was like, don't try it. You can't do this. What if they hate you? He's like, you know, you're strong. You can handle people coming at you. I can't handle it. Like, don't put us through that. And so it was like, okay, what do I do? And then the producers had a meeting with some of my family members, somehow were able to convince them.
Wow.
And they were like, you know what, just go for it and see if you like it. And I did.
Looking back on the experience overall, are you happy you did it?
One thing about me, I don't really have any regrets in life, or I try not
Wow,
to have
that's
regrets.
amazing.
I try not to because I just feel like every experience is a learning curve, Everything happens for a reason as well. So if you ever find yourself in a situation that you didn't really plan or things didn't really go as you expected, know that happened for a particular reason. So I don't regret doing it. Would I have maybe done certain things differently if I knew better? 100%, but I don't beat myself up about the fact that, I wouldn't even say that I made certain mistakes. I feel like I was being completely true to myself. Certain things people appreciated and resonated with, certain things they didn't really understand because of course they didn't have the backstory, but I won't change a thing. Like, it is what it is, how
You
it
don't like to
happened.
dwell on things.
I don't.
Yeah,
It's just
well done.
take it or leave it.
Absolutely. So can you tell us what was a typical day on set for you during season 1?
I think it's the part that nobody sees, like the getting ready. That's the worst part. Like,
Oh gosh,
for
I
me,
can
like when I'm
imagine.
in action, I'm in action. So I'm the kind of person that once I press play, I'm on. Like, I don't stop until it's done. So I would never be the cast to complain, oh, I'm tired, I want to go home. I was never that person. Some
Because
people
you're
do that.
extremely professional. I know
I'm
this
very
about
professional,
you.
extremely hardworking. I'm a go-getter. So it's innate in me to work hard and, to the very end. I could film till 4 a.m. and not feel any type of way. But it's the preliminary. Like, I'm not a morning person. Like, don't wake me up. That's just, don't wake me up before 8 a.m. And like, sometimes we'll have to wake up really early, your glam squad. Like, and when you're preparing for something important, it just takes like almost like times 2 of the time to
It
get
does,
ready.
yeah.
And it's not like you come out looking any nicer. Like, you still look the exact same, but it just takes so much longer. So my getting ready.
Ironically, yes.
Yeah, like, I don't get it. So like my getting ready would just take hours and hours. And that used to frustrate me because it almost meant like the days that I was filming, I couldn't do anything else. I couldn't go to work. I couldn't speak to my friends. I couldn't. Do you know how many things I missed? Like, last
I
year.
can imagine.
Imagine how many like of our
Yeah.
hangouts I couldn't make because I
Probably
was
can't
filming.
even go to the grocery store.
Literally, I couldn't. I couldn't. So it's stressful, getting ready. But for me, once I get on set and we start like filming, even though it's not scripted, there's nothing about it that's scripted. It's you just flowing and being yourself. I just get into that zone and I'm on it.
I'm happy you just said that because I was just about to segue into the next question. I know it's in the name, reality TV. Was it all real? Everything we saw in season 1, was it all real?
What do you think?
I think yes.
It's 100% real.
Maybe at the beginning, maybe it took you a bit of time to get used to each other and the cameras, but eventually it looks really real.
Like, there was nothing fake about it. I know like certain scenes was so dramatic that even after the situation we'll be like, did that just
Did that
happen?
just happen?
Like,
Exactly. Like, this can't be.
It's not possible. Like, did this person just say this or do this? So dramatic, but it was all real. Nothing was scripted. Nothing at all.
But can you describe your experience on the first day and then the last day? Like, you must have felt, I know, more comfortable, or the first day you were getting to know the ladies. How would you compare the first day and the last day?
The first day, first of all, we didn't know who the other cast members were going to be, by the way.
Until the moment you stepped on set.
Did I not look shell-shocked?
You did, but
in my first scene.
maybe you had an idea.
No, because obviously you lot, I'm not a quiet person, but like, I think for the first maybe 3 episodes, I was like in La La Land because I was like, who are these people and why am I seated next to them and why do I have to be here? Why did I sign this contract? Like, what's going on?
Oh my gosh.
So it wasn't easy for me, I won't lie.
So this is my first time meeting Iyabo and Toyin actually for the first time. Toyin and I chat via DM, but we haven't met in person. No, not in person, no.
Hey, I'm olóyìnbó today.
This your place, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Funny enough, I've never heard about her before until today.
Very nice place.
Food is nice. The food tastes delicious.
Okay.
Báwo ni fúnrin today o, ìjọba. Ẹ máa fẹ́ sọ òyìnbó lédè yín máa kàn.
I'm not gonna lie to you, after the first scene, I think it was even at Brass and Copper, I went down.
Yes.
I was like, guys, I can't do this. I was like, I'm not gonna do. I don't know anybody here. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't feel like I'm the same as anybody else. I'm so different. I was like, take me off this contract, And they were like, you already signed. You can't leave. It was scary for me, only because some of them I knew, some of them I didn't, and I just didn't feel like I would have anything in common with anybody, and that's the God's honest truth. On the last day now, hey, I was like, I own this show.
The last day was the drama was dramatic.
It was
I'm just
very
gonna
dramatic,
say.
but it felt so different because at the beginning, here I was wanting to run away from these women. Like, I didn't even want to be around them. I didn't want to have a part 2 around them. And then at the end, it was like, these are my people. Like, I
Wow.
felt so secure, so comfortable, so confident around them. So it was literally like 2 ends of the coin.
You had, I mean, on the show, so it's not a secret, quite public arguments with Caroline and other ladies. Where, if I may ask you, do you stand today with the cast of the first seasons? Of the first season, pardon.
Let's just say that
By the way, today is like a full year later.
a solid year. Some of them I'm cool with, and some of them it just remains the same.
Yeah, understandably so.
Yeah.
You were quoted in the press as saying that you felt that being on Real Housewives of Lagos was embarrassing. Do you feel that way?
I don't think I ever said it was embarrassing.
I mean, I read this in an article, so it could have been twisted.
It could
You
have
might
been
have not have
twisted,
said
yeah.
that.
The one thing that I would say, or I felt last year, was that it was toxic.
Okay.
You know, I don't, like I said, I don't regret doing anything, but it was so toxic, and it was a level of toxicity that I just never anticipated, and I've never experienced in my entire life. You know, so it was mad. It was like.
When you're on, like you're being filmed being real, do you feel a pressure to be hype or more energetic or make drama? Like, do you feel that pressure because, oh, the cameras are looking at me, I should...
Yeah. So luckily for me, I was raised to be super confident, just naturally
Amazing.
in life. And so I never felt the need to be anybody other than who I am or who I was brought up to be. So whereas some of my other classmates, I see the fact that when the cameras come on, they're like a completely different, shockingly different person. And I'm like, what's
Wait,
going on
where
here,
were
mate?
you?
I'm like, but that's not who you were in the car, like, or 2
Exactly.
seconds ago. So, madam, who are you? You know? So I find that so weird, like when people do that. Also, I'm not an actress, so I don't even know how to turn it off and on. Do you know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
I wish I had the skills to, but
You're
I
not
don't.
even fake in real life.
Yeah.
Like, let alone an actress.
Exactly. So I don't know how to do anything other than that which I am or I'm supposed to do. So the pressure is there to be different. And of course, like being on reality TV and understanding that drama sells. And for me, I feel like people that watch reality TV a lot are in a worse of position, because you're now trying to emulate one character or the other,
That you
some
saw
Nini or
on...
some Kim or some somebody that you've seen, you know, on your Netflix or your Bravo, and then you're trying to be that person and you can't even be yourself.
Yeah, you're trying to be the breakout star by being the most dramatic.
Exactly. And the funny thing is the audience can tell when you're faking it. They can tell when
can.
you're pushing and forcing drama and when it's not authentic, and they don't like that. So sometimes it actually works against them. But no, I'm who I am at all times.
'Cause I know you in real life, so I can vouch for the fact that Chioma was the same on camera as she is when she's amongst friends.
But people thought I was being fake.
Your friends thought
No,
that.
of course not. My
Oh,
friends,
yeah, you
but
mean
like
people-
the audience, yeah, they were like, it's not possible. How can she be so put together? How can she not get angry? She's forming that she's bougie. People actually thought I wasn't being myself. Only my friends would be like, well, actually, that is who she is.
That's the thing, I guess, when you put yourself open in the court of public opinion,
Yeah.
then these things, they just come with the territory, I guess. But it must be cool. You became many audios on TikTok. I don't know if you've seen them. I love them. Actually, we're going to show you guys a few actually right now.
And she's so bloody fake. Everyone can see that. I'm bougie, but you're using for can I eat sushi? Who's bougie? You wish you had the life that I have. You wish you were me. You wish you were raised like me. You wish you had the exposure that I have. You wish you had the manners that I had. You wish you had the etiquette, the intelligence, the capacity to be who I am. But guess what? You will never be.
If you want to face me in English. Don't come with that bullshit Yoruba. Speak to me in English if you want to face me. It's not bullshit, but she knows what she's doing. If I start insulting you, Igbo, do you understand?
That must have been cool, like to hear people like take things you've said and like pretend. I think it's fun. Maybe
Yeah,
that's just
it's
me.
very interesting. I mean, because I'm not super active on TikTok, I didn't realize like to what extent it was, you know. But apparently, like so many different voices. Some of it was I was a bit like slightly embarrassed, especially like if I'm coming for somebody. You know?
Do you know how hilarious it is to say, "Oh, she thinks she's bougie, but she eats sushi with a fork and knife"? I will use that quote one day in real life because that is absolutely hilarious.
Do you know, whenever people see me or like we're in a sushi restaurant, they're like, "Ah, sorry, we're using our chopsticks." Like,
Oh my gosh. Well, the show's reunion ended up being quite heated and there was some physical altercations throughout the show. When things got physical at various points, what was going through your mind at that moment?
I was just like, listen, this is not what I signed up for.
Right.
What the hell is going on? Like, I was just not interested in that type of party, wasn't trying to be a part of it. And plus, I'm a lawyer, so I understand, like, there's something called the eggshell rule in law, which means take your victims as you find them. So if, for instance, Tatiana, I slap you in anger, but then you had a pre-existing condition that meant that anything that hit your head can actually cause you to, you know, and that happens, I cannot be like, oh my God, no, I only meant to slap her. I didn't mean to kill
Yeah.
her. In law, you're going down. Like, that's it.
You have an
You
issue with me
can't
putting
joke with my
powder.
life to
You have
work.
an issue
I'm
with
sorry.
me.
You might feel
What's your
comfortable
business
about
with what
doing
I'm
all that
doing?
your nonsense with
What's
people.
your business what
your
I'm doing?
mean girl
Focus on
attitude,
your focus.
Your
Focus
condescending
on your
thing, always
focus.
talking down. People
Focus
thinking
on
that
who
maybe
do I
you're
talk
the best.
down on? Who am I
But
talking down on? Why are you
see,
having a complex?
My dear,
I think I'm
having
better
a
than
complex
who?
with you.
I think I'm better than
Chioma,
who?
I don't
I
be
think I'm better than
complex
who?
with you.
Why do you have the
Chioma,
complex?
I do
think
not.
I'm better than who?
Don't try me.
They will
That
treat
is
you
manslaughter.
it's manslaughter, so you're not going to get any like lenient sentence because you didn't mean to kill the person. So I'm very conscious of that. So when you like throw a glass or like a vase the way somebody did at somebody and you miss them by like an inch,
Yeah, or
I
miss an eye or
and
miss
I'm
a-
like, what if you hit them? What if you caught their eye? What if, do you understand? When you're going to prison, they're not going to say, oh, because you were on the show, let's allow her. You're going to go to jail.
Yeah, because it's reality TV.
It's
It's not
real.
a movie. So I was going to ask you if there's anything during filming that caught you off guard, but I guess it's the toxicity that was way maybe what.
I think the thing, as you mentioned, like in the reunion, that definitely will be the part that I, in a million years, would never have seen coming. Like one of the cast members getting up and coming to physically attack me. She came. Luckily for me, she missed. Because obviously somebody else got up
To stop
to
it.
stop her, and I think I did that. Literally, but I felt her like hands. I could feel it on my hair.
Oh
Do you
my
know what I mean? So
gosh.
if I didn't do that, it would have hit me. Now I know I was super calm. Like I didn't
You
move
were.
an inch.
But like that's why I'm asking you what was going through your mind. You must
I
be
just
like, what
honestly
the hell
at
just
that point I
happened?
was just like, what are you doing? And I just didn't feel like the person was worth fighting with at the time. And I understood that like this is coming from a place of complex as opposed to a real situation, because darling, like nothing has happened to warrant this behavior. So I just didn't feel the need to like get up and respond, and I genuinely felt that way. But if her hands had physically touched me, I cannot say what I would have done or how I would have reacted, because I mean, I'm human. So
No, absolutely. We all are. No, I think you acted in a very poised manner. So well done, because I don't know if I would have been as calm as you in that situation. What would you say? Have there been any perks to reality TV?
there are definitely perks. I feel like obviously like the obvious ones where like you get more followers, more visibility, meaning like more brands, more endorsements, which obviously equals more money. I think also for me particularly, for somebody who's not like as out there as I am on social media, I'm not actually very open. So I take pictures and videos of my outfits, but I don't talk that much. I don't
It's true.
necessarily
You're more of a fashion.
more of a fashion
Yeah,
person, so I'm
obsessive.
not necessarily interacting, meaning that you don't know my personality. You see my outfits, and funny enough, the nicer you look, the more people judge you, the more they think that you're snobbish and you're mean or not very like relatable. So I feel like with the show, it kind of like allowed people to see a little bit more of me, not me my entirety. Some things were obviously like misconstrued, but it showed that I was at least human. I can be cool, I could be angry, I could shout, I could laugh.
Yeah.
It just showed like she's actually a human being, she's not a mannequin. So
Well, I'm so happy you mentioned your fashion, because I was going to go into that just now. First of all, okay, I am biased, but it is true. You're definitely the best dressed person on that show. Well done.
Thank you.
How would you describe your overall look and fashion sense?
I think my fashion honestly just depends on my mood. I think the thing that will definitely remain consistent with me is, dressing in a classy, like somewhat sophisticated manner, but I think I touch across every single, so sometimes I'm edgy, sometimes I'm like very covered, sometimes, I show a little bit of skin, sometimes I'm like, it just depends on my mood. And then I fit the particular occasion. I like to dress the part. I like to be the best version of that particular outfit.
Outfit.
So if let's say you're
Nice.
having a pool party, I want to wear the best pool outfit that there is, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
If it's a
absolutely.
barbecue, I want to be in the best
Best
version
barbecue
of a
outfit. Yeah,
barbecue
yeah,
outfit.
exactly. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna show up in a gala gown
Yes,
at the barbecue.
At a barbecue, but I'm not going to be looking basic in like just white tees and shorts. No, that's
The
not me.
Smallville style
Yes,
of the
no.
back in the day. So do you work when you're figuring out an outfit for an event or any kind of occasion? Do you work closely with the designer yourself? Are you involved in the designing process?
So most designers that I work with are now my friends. We work so closely together that we actually build a friendship. We're literally on the phone for hours designing something, and I'm very, very involved in the process. I'm one of those people that just I kind of like to be in control of everything that concerns me. So if they're designing an outfit, you know, I work with their skills and then my ideas and we combine it. And that's why we always create magic, bespoke magic.
Speaking of magic, you were recently at the Africa Magic Viewers Choice Awards where you killed it.
Thank you.
I want to show actually you guys a few of the outfits and maybe you can tell us the inspiration behind some of these outfits. So how did this one come about?
So this for me, I wanted something fitted. So I had two outfits for, you know, the AMVCAs, and I wanted them to be like worlds apart from each other. You know, so this particular one, I wanted something fitted, body hugging, you know, but still very regal, hence the cape.
Yes.
But I wanted it like more sexy, more shiny, which is pretty much my vibe. Like I like, you know,
it's a very J-Lo, but more
like
powerful
outfit. So that was.
I have the other one here. This one is insane. So what a bold color to choose this kind of green.
Yes. So with this outfit, do you know, if I'm being entirely honest, because it's you, my friend, I'm telling you, I wasn't supposed to wear that outfit. That wasn't actually my dress for the AMVCA. One of my designer friends was working on a dress for me, you know, but this particular designer, you know, on the day that we were supposed to fit, they just didn't show up. And I'm like, I hate disappointment. Like I just don't ever like to be disappointed. So I was like, you know what?
It's disappointment and unprofessionalism.
I was like,
I mean, I'm going to say it. I don't know who this designer is, but I'm just going to say it.
So I was like, you know what? Let me ensure that I have a backup plan. So I reached out to this particular designer who was already making me stuff anyway. So I was like, do you think that you can, you know, quickly put something together for the AMVC? And she was like, yeah, sure. I have a couple of things that I was making for you. And she was like, what do you think about us doing something very different? And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm open to different. She was like, what do you think about a ball gown? I was like, hi, I've never worn a ball gown. I'm not a bride. Like, I've never done this. But I said, you know what? Actually, we can. And she was like, pick a color. And I said, let's do green.
Wow.
And
so
then,
this is something, it looks like it was thought out for months.
This was a matter of days, literally that week. If the event was on a Saturday, this was decided on
like Wednesday.
Tuesday. And it was brought on Thursday or Friday. I think, yeah, Thursday.
Where there's a will, there's a way, as we say. And you were also recently in France, in Reims, with Laurent Perrier, where also you served some fire looks. I am obsessed with this dress. Like, I'm going to get it probably eventually. When I can fit into it, I will definitely get it.
You should. Do you know this dress is actually by one of my co-stars on the Real Housewives, Iyabo, who
shout out.
Shout out Iyabo. So her daughter, Priscilla, who's only 22, by the way, just turned 22. So she's got a clothing line, And I went to her. In fact, I saw online the day that they were opening their store. This was like in the reels that they created. I paused that reel, screenshot it. I said, I want this dress. Do not sell it to anyone. Take it off the mannequin. It's mine. And as soon as I got there, I grabbed it and I left.
Well done. And you know, you're very lucky because you have a very good hat head. Like hats really suit you. And not everyone can pull off hats so easily. And I love this outfit. Very, very classy.
Thank you. This was made, I actually got it the day that I was traveling. So that morning, I saw this designer, you know, because you know France, it's like understated elegance, you know.
Yes,
and like I said,
Chanel
I dressed
style,
exactly. I dressed for the occasion, so I was like, I'm going to France. I'm not about to be doing too much at dinner, so I want something nice, clean, classy. So this designer, Anne Cranberry, I'm just searching through to see who could like, you know, make suits come alive. So this is actually like a blazer dress. And I reached out to her the night before. She responded in the morning. I was like, I'm actually traveling tonight. Can you do magic? She goes, I'll come through. She got to my house at 7 p.m. I left for the airport at 7:15.
Incredible.
And it fit like a glove.
And for you, this is incredibly understated. And it's very, very nice.
Yeah.
I'm happy you enjoyed wearing it. It's really, really nice.
I did.
And this one also I want to talk about.
Yes.
How did the inspiration for this come about?
So they said to us, you were about to meet the daughter of the founder of Laurent Perrier, and we want everyone to show up and show out. They were like, come in your Sunday best. You know, we want them to...
You were like, don't tell me anything more.
I said, say no more.
Say no more.
Say no more.
I understood the assignment.
Completely. They were like, you know, we want them to remember Nigeria and Nigerians. And that was it. I was like, say no more.
And the headpiece.
I just literally last minute last minute, I was like, ooh, it might be too much. But I said, you know what? She's going to remember this. And she kept talking about it the whole day. She was like, wow, you're so elegant. You're so elegant.
That's a good question. Have you ever told yourself this is maybe too much?
Always. Sometimes I try things on, you know, I'm like, Choma, no, it's doing too much. Remove, take off, you know. But sometimes too much is, that's the theme.
Because I was going to ask you about this outfit. This is, whoa. Like, honestly, hats off to you, because I don't know many people that can pull this off.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's too much, but...
To be honest, I'll probably say this is the most that I've done. I won't lie. Even I thought it was too much. I thought it was
Where
too much.
did you wear this outfit?
So I wore this to the Sound City Awards. And funny enough, I had 2 outfits for that as well. So this was for the Fashion Police segment, which was the beginning. But in Choma style, I was so late that I didn't even make that. I ended up going straight to the award in this, you know. But it was for my Fashion Police segment, and it was supposed to give, like, you know, like police officer, like judging people. So I wanted it to be like really loud and really like flamboyant, you know, like that was the vibe for that look.
Was it easy to put on?
It was actually, it wasn't hard. I mean, a bit slow, but it all came together. Initially with the designer, I did tell her I didn't want the diamante stuff on it. I was like, just keep it plain gold. Let it just be like a gold metallic look. But they were like, no, put this up. My team don't help either. They're always like, madam, add it. Yes, add this. It's nice. It's nice.
They hype you up.
They hype me up. So they gingered all those extra stones, you know. But I mean, some people loved it. Some people hated it.
I love this look of yours. Like the denim kind of mix. I really, really loved it. You pulled it off incredibly.
Thank you.
It's not much, but it might be one of my favorites.
Yeah. No, it was really cool as well because even the hat was so last minute. I think the theme was it Lagos Gangster or something?
I mean, Gangs of Lagos, so it makes sense.
Exactly. So, you know, I was like, oh, what can I do to like make this a bit more Lagosy? And last minute I was like, you know what, the hats would be a perfect addition. So when you see this anywhere, you know that I'm repping Lagos, but then still looking cool.
And you don't wear, other than jeans, like denim outfits too often.
Yeah,
so
I
this
don't.
was a nice change.
Yeah, definitely. But I think I'm gonna start like doing the denim look a bit more because it suits me a lot. It's cool. Like, it's so edgy and it's trendy at the moment.
In a recent interview, you said that one of the current celebrities that you love what she's wearing is Cardi B. You know, I totally agree with you. She's been actually killing it lately.
She has an amazing
Especially
stylist.
this one. This is amazing.
When I saw this, I died.
Yeah. Me too. I was sending it to all my friends. Like, have you seen this?
So
and
all my
the color.
tailors, I was like, guys, let's do something similar. They're like, no, that's Cardi B. I said, I don't care. This one, I'll copy with my chest. They were like, no. But I love this outfit so much. This is so me. This is so my style.
It's
like,
beautiful.
I was obsessed with this look.
And also unusual for her because Cardi B, well, maybe we're used to her being a bit more ratchet and a bit more.
She has an amazing stylist.
No, she's doing, especially recently.
Yeah, her stylist.
What did you think of her Met Gala look?
I thought they were amazing. I thought it was so interesting. The pink one was super, super cute. You know, I loved how like soft it was, but then so like flamboyant at the back and, you know, extravagant. So it was like extravagant elegance. So that I loved. The black one as well was very like edgy, but like still classy with the roses and everything. So I loved how she looked.
A good homage to Karl Lagerfeld. I want to talk to you about Met looks. So we're going to show you guys on the screen, and then Chioma and I are going to comment about it. What did you think of Rihanna's wedding dress ensemble?
I actually loved it. I feel like Rihanna honestly can do no wrong when it comes to fashion. She's just one of those people that have owned the fashion space so boldly and confidently that even if she put on rags, that's going to be the new vibe. Like, I'm wearing rags to the club tonight because Rihanna did. So this I thought was really pretty. I liked obviously the floral ensemble that was very like feminine, and obviously like the way she wore it as a hoodie looked so edgy. And then she took it off, and what was underneath was also quite flattering considering that she's pregnant as well. So it was stunning. I loved it.
I think if anybody, well, hopefully when the day comes that you'll be pregnant, I think you can definitely pull off a Rihanna pregnancy because she's made that a thing, and it takes a certain type of boldness.
Do you know what? Do you know what? I'm actually really shy. I'm telling you, and I'm telling you, I'm so shy, and like I don't show that much skin. You know, if you really look at like
there's
my
an outfit you wore. I'm gonna find it and post it for everyone, but I don't have a photo of it now. Where you did show some stomach not long ago with like these silver cones.
Okay, and that's bold. Very, very bold. I was so uncomfortable. I said to the designer Wisdom, I was like, who are you making this outfit for? I'm not wearing this. She was like, no, it'll be fine. Trust me. I was like, oh my goodness. I was so uncomfortable. That's the most uncomfortable shoot I've ever done in my life.
But you have such a great figure. I mean, you pulled it off.
Thanks, but it was really uncomfortable. It's just not my thing. Like I love to be covered up. I love to be like I like my turtlenecks, my long sleeves, my like I love to be covered.
We'll see when the pregnancy comes if it goes.
We'll see then.
Although you also can't be cold too easily because that baby she was in like Paris in February at 2 degrees at a Dior fashion show, like in underwear.
I'm telling you.
And I'm like, okay, like you're in lingerie, sexy, but like, aren't you freezing? You know what I mean? What did you think of Kim K's outfit?
Honestly, I thought first of all I've seen this before.
Ooh.
I've seen this before. A South African designer, Hertz, he's done this so many times before. So seeing this on Kim, I was like, did Schiaparelli copy him or what's going on? Because he's been making those outfits for years,
Wow.
and it's literally like the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I do love Schiaparelli, so not trying to knock them, but it's
No,
just
but beads are a very African statement as
yeah,
well.
and he, Hurt has done this exact design for years and years. So I wasn't very impressed to see that Kim was, doing something so common, so basic, and also the fact that, another designer made it as opposed to the originator of it. So that wasn't impressive. Also, I thought it was so like, no offense, but like a bit basic. Like you have like pearls all around. Like anyone can recreate this look tomorrow and just have a bed sheet behind them. It wasn't given anything unique. And for me, I was slightly disappointed because with Kim or like Kanye's Kim would have come up like, do you understand?
Absolutely.
We would have been talking about her for days. But in this outfit, there wasn't much talkability to it. So it wasn't doing her justice.
I feel like at the end of the day, we can say whatever we want about the Kardashians, but I think they are marketing geniuses.
Absolutely.
The empire they've built from what they came from, you have to give them props for that.
We have to study it in school.
We do. We really do.
Jokes apart, it is a thing. It should be part of the curriculum, the Kardashians, like
Absolutely.
how to make money.
So moving on to the next look. Well, this one I thought was a bit basic as well.
Very basic, very disappointed in Kylie because Kylie is also like a fashion mogul. Like people look up to her for her outfits and coming out in this very bland, expected, overly simple. And this is not a simplicity is no. This is not a less is more type situation.
This is less is less.
It's doing too small. So I was very disappointed. It was very boring.
But on the other hand, I think her sister,
Kendall for me is always giving.
Wow,
Now that's understated elegance when you look at
Yeah.
it. Like Kendall for me, I love that she's true to her style. So she's not trying to be like anybody else. No one can be like her. She's very elegant, very fashionable, very edgy. It's like, how do you mix elegant and edgy? It's Kendall.
have you seen that she's dating Bad Bunny?
I saw.
I wonder if I don't even think he speaks English. Let's see what happens with that. Maybe that's why the relationship will work. Lols.
Maybe.
This is Anne Hathaway. What do we
Yeah.
think of this?
I thought it was nice. With Anne, she's always quite like simple-ish, still quite elegant, quite fresh and refreshing. And I expected this sort of look from her. And I think for her, it works.
And whoa, this one was something. Doja
Doja
Cat
Cat.
with the full. They have a name for it when you like change the face.
So Doja is Doja. I don't really know. Like, you can't knock her because she's owned this whole, I'm going to look crazy. I'm going to transform and just be so different.
Well, did you see she was answering meow in interviews?
I didn't even see that.
Like people are like, oh, tell me about your outfit. And she's like, meow.
Oh my goodness.
She didn't say a word the whole interview. She was just saying meow, meow.
She can't be normal upstairs. It's not. Surely she cannot be normal. It's not possible.
So it was funny, but yeah, it was a bit weird.
So I rate her for just being so brave to pull all of this off, but I could never. I could never risk looking ugly just for an outfit.
for an outfit.
No way.
It was Paris Hilton's first time ever at the Met.
Really
Yeah.
surprising.
Quite surprising. I think it's not bad.
I think she could have been at any dinner party in this outfit. She could have been anywhere else. This is not giving Met. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is. It's not giving the height of the Met. At the Good Hair space, do you see people follow trends? Like I
Yeah.
saw Cardi in this. Can I get this? I saw
Yes,
this person in
all
this.
the time. But their biggest trendsetter is actually myself and Kika.
I can imagine.
So whatever we wear, that's what they
Well,
want.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
the best kind of trend you want. I thought this was not so great. I'm not the biggest fan.
Funny enough, I thought it was really sexy, and I think for me, J-Lo, like everyone's just so biased to like the fact that she's older, but she looks so hot, And
She does.
And for me, like, and I think I watched video interview thing where she was like teaching the photographers how to take her pictures. So she's like, no, 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 lower. So
Lower.
like go lower, keep it face upwards, and then snap. That was it for me. So basically what she does is she has them take pictures from a lower angle, which now elevates her body and like elongates her torso, which makes her look more slender, you know. So to me that was like
You know,
genius.
she is quite slender. Not long ago, I was at a big fashion house in Paris, and I was trying the haute couture looks that they have, and they told me, "Oh, Jennifer Lopez wore this dress. Do you want to try it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I mean, I was much slimmer than I am right now, but I tried it on, and it wouldn't go up. It was a size France 34, which I'd
Okay.
maybe a UK size 2 or 4, and I was like, "J-Lo wore this?" And they're like,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, this is what she wears. And I was like, wow, so she's much smaller than
She
what we
must
think.
be.
I thought, okay, like the big booty and
Yeah, yeah,
stuff, but
yeah.
I
She
was
must
really
be.
surprised. I felt bad about myself, but that's another story. Sorry, fire the stylist. I thought it was
Oh,
horrible.
completely put them in prison because this was horrendous. You know, it looks a bit ghetto. Like I'm just like, where are you
Also, they
going?
didn't fix it nicely on the chest. Bless her. I love Mary J. Blige.
I do love her, but like,
But no,
this was a fashion blunder.
it
Sorry,
was a bit
mommy.
of a blunder.
Mm-mm-mm.
Not so bad.
Yeah, I like how she keeps it classy and simple, you know, but still like a little bit of edgy, a little bit of elegant, you know. She's quite slim, so she can pull off like a lot of looks like
Exactly,
this. Yeah,
exactly. Her figure does actually help
it helps.
pull off
It
everything.
helps.
I love this dress. Olivia Wilde.
Okay. Yeah, so this is quite interesting. I like the fact that it's like, you know, cut out in certain areas and, you know, there's this whole like turtleneck cape vibe that's giving you like the Pope, but, you know, still make it sexy.
Yeah.
So
The
I like
Pope
this.
and still
I feel like a lot of like thought went into this outfit. So
It's really nice.
what's
This is Jared Leto as Karl Lagerfeld's cat. Because I like a good sense of humor, so I think it's funny. It's not fashion, but it's funny.
It's definitely not fashion.
But
And
he'll make
he
you
must
laugh.
have been hot.
Yes, that's absolutely true. So, other than Cardi B these days, is there anyone that you're particularly admiring their style?
I mean, it's not Beyonce.
Why not?
I don't know what's going on because, you know, Beyonce's such a legend, and I feel like somebody like her needs to be in a position where she gets it right all the time. But I guess in life you can't have it all. You can't be that fine, have the best voice, be the best dancer, and still be the best dressed. God has to take something away because her outfits like it's like hit or miss. You know, sometimes it's stunning, and then sometimes it's like they just miss the mark. You know, that borderline tacky.
Interesting, interesting. Because you know me, I'm like the unofficial president of the Beehive. But it's okay. I get it. I get it. No, no, I can't. Sometimes you have to say when someone does something wrong. So fine. But I think her outfits on her tour recently have been
Some of them
really
have been
nice.
stunning. Not every single one of them, but
Not
some of
every
them have
single one
been.
of them.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite designers, Nigerian and foreign?
Ooh, foreign. I mean, like I would say like the basics that most people like, the
Hermes,
Hermes, the
Chanel.
Chanel's, the Dior's. Um, I like to focus more on like Nigerian designers because I feel like they're the future,
They
you
are.
know,
They are
and
these days.
yes, and just almost like underrepresented. So I like to speak up for like, you know, of course I love Wisdom Franklin, you know, I love Extra Brides, I love DNA by Iconic and Vanity. Who else do I wear quite a bit? Matopida Atelier. This designer Lakimi Fashion, she's quite good. Um, yeah, there are quite a few like amazing Nigerian designers, and I work with quite a few of them.
I think it's really beautiful when anybody like promotes their own designers from their own country. I think that's absolutely very important and well done to you for that.
Thank you. I just wish they would have like more exposure, more
I think they
resources.
will
You think
eventually,
so?
especially thanks to people like you and all of your peers as well that are wearing them, and even
Yeah.
well, we'll talk about young, famous, and African soon, but they are also wearing a lot of African designers. So I think are they? They are, right?
I'm not sure. I can't really tell. I know Annie for sure because obviously Annie's Nigerian and I see some of her outfits and I recognize that, you know, they're definitely from Nigerian designers. I don't know about the rest of them though.
Okay, but I definitely think Africa, along with music and fashion, is going up and up in the world. So
We're
that's
definitely on the world map now.
absolutely, especially music. Oof, music, they're
Especially.
killing it, killing it, killing it. It's amazing. You know, I've said this on like other episodes of my show that I'm sure you've seen this because you go a lot to the UK and the US, and you hear these Burna Boy or Wizkid songs, or not even that famous artists, and you hear all these people singing them. in Pidgin.
I can never get over it.
And I'm like, do you guys know what you're saying?
For me, it was in Lac in France, and it was like at the peak of the night. Everyone's drunk, you know. So it's not like they were thinking about the words. The words were inherent in them.
The words were in them.
They were singing louder than us Nigerians.
Yeah,
I kept quiet for a moment, and I looked around
you hear them go, "I no go feed, take your insult," and I'm like,
they
do you
were
know what you're
they
saying?
were dying over that part. Like, I need to go and shout. I was like, okay, Miss French woman, okay.
Someone asked me recently because they know that I live in Lagos. They said, "What's Ibo and Shayo?" And I said, "It's alcohol and weed." And they were like, "Oh, we thought it meant like love and freedom. Like I want love in the world."
I need to go and
Like, can you put Nigeria on a map? Like, really well done. Or like in London, I heard finesse and all. If I broke down my business,
Yes.
holy crap! Like, well done, guys. Well done.
But guess who like stands out so much to me? Thames.
Oh my God, I wanted to
I'm
talk to
so
you about Thames
happy
at the
for
Met Gala,
her.
and I forgot. Yes.
Thames everywhere is killing it. Thames, was it the Grammys or the Oscars? Was it the Oscars with the white? I think it was the Oscars.
It was the Oscars when they were
I died
laughing
and
at the
came
person
back.
sitting behind
I
her.
died and came back. Even the fascinator that I wore in France was inspired by hers, because whoever is styling her is doing an amazing job.
She's doing.
I know that's not her style, because Thames is more like Altair. You know, she's more like, that's not her style, but she looks amazing.
She looks amazing musically.
Thames,
She's
whoever
killing
your
it.
stylist is, keep that person. Do not ever fire them. Even if they're rude, even if they're annoying, pay them double. Like, trust me, they're putting you all the way on, and it's insane.
No, I really
She
admire
looks
her as
great.
well.
And I love the recognition that she's receiving, because for me, like, a win for one is a win for all.
Absolutely,
You know? So I'm
especially
super happy for her.
a female artist. I like Arya Starr a lot. I mean, she's still a bit
Yes.
young. She probably has a long way to go, but I have a bit of a girl crush on her, and I think she's doing quite well.
Yeah, she's really good. She's very interesting, you know, to watch. I like her as well.
I wanted to talk to you as well about social media, because you are huge on social media. As I've mentioned before, you have, I think, more than 600,000 followers on Instagram, which is quite a big achievement. First of all, what do you think about being Instagram? Would you say that there is a thing as Instagram famous?
There's definitely a thing like Instagram famous, which is somebody who's like an Insta celebrity or like popular on Instagram. And to be honest, like, you could be Instagram famous but not famous in real life.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes,
Meaning
yes.
that somebody who's on TikTok and not on Instagram is not going to know who you are. But people on Instagram know you, you know. But luckily, I've been popping before
No,
Instagram.
yeah.
I'm still going to be popping after Instagram, you know, because social media comes and goes. And for me, like I said earlier, like, being true to myself is key. You know, I never want to be anything or anyone for a particular platform, because what happens when the platform dies out, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, my value is on and off social media.
You must have really tough skin to do this. Like, have you always had? Do you have tough skin, and have you always had it?
Have I always had tough skin?
Or how do you deal
I
with
think that
bad
I have,
comments?
because, you know, when you think about like when you're younger and like when you got in fights, like I was that friend that, like, I didn't fight my friends like regularly, but if I did, I could cut you off forever and never speak to you again. And I would literally train myself to not feel bad.
That's a skill.
It's a skill. So literally, like, if the person walked past, it's not that I'm pretending not to care. I genuinely wouldn't care. So I think I trained myself from really young, for whatever reason, to just be so like tough inside, because I could also be I'm Cancerian. So it comes natural to me to be emotional, you know, but I don't like the fact that I can get so emotional or so attached or so, you know, so I had to train myself to be like the opposite. So I definitely have both sides, but the tough part, I have that as well. And I think if you're going to be on social media and you're going to be out there, and even like on TV or anything like that, you have to have tough skin.
So yeah, having tough skin, is that the advice you'd give to anyone who wants to pursue being an influencer or being on reality TV?
Yeah, you're gonna have to have tough skin. Like, there's no other way. I'm not even gonna deceive you and kid you and make you think that there's, you know, any other secret. You have to have tough skin, because you're putting yourself out there, you're putting your life out there for people to judge, people to have their unsolicited opinions, you know. And the truth is, you can't, like my sister said before I started the show, you cannot control how people see you.
Yeah.
You know, you could be giving off X and they're interpreting it as Y and throwing you Z. Like, it's just, you don't know what's gonna happen. So you have to be ready to take all the punches and really not care. Like, don't let it affect you. You know, I try not to read negative comments. Like if there's anything negative, I try to scroll past it or block it. Like I don't entertain it, because when you feed into it, it grows.
Yeah, then
Anything you
it's a
feed in life,
never-ending spiral.
it's never ending. Even people defending you, it's not a good look. Tell your fans not to defend you, because when you do that, like the person comes even harder. So they're now insulting you with things that, I mean, it's like, you know, it's never ending. So
I'm gonna call Selena Gomez and tell her fans to calm
to
down
calm
as well,
down. It
or
doesn't-
Taylor Swift fans.
Yeah, it doesn't
You
help
guys
when
need
you
to
do
chill.
that, you know. So yeah, tough skin is imperative, and just ignoring the trolls is, I think, the secret.
So, what would you say to the fact that, like you said, when you put yourself in the public eye and you're open yourself to scrutiny, do you become fair game in the world of gossip? Like when people say, "Oh, it's not because, you know, she." People say, "Oh, she's famous, so she wanted this, or she should like, you know, just take it." And when people say, like for example, Meghan Markle, people say, "Oh, but she put herself in that situation, so she put herself in a situation to be
But
photographed
I
and
feel like
followed."
people must understand that at the end of the day, we're all human, you know, and even if anybody's ever put themselves out there, it doesn't mean that they prepare. You can never be prepared for, like, you know, social media attack or like, you know, insults or trolls. You can never prepare for that. You know, you can never want it or hope for it or pray for it. So that's never anybody's plan. People want to be famous. People want to be successful, you know, for the benefits and the positives,
Exactly.
not for the negative side. So you
Exactly.
can't say, oh yeah, well, she deserves it, because no, like, you know, don't do that. And I try to put myself in, like, before I was maybe a bit more outspoken, even with my comments. I was never that person that would troll anybody or say anything negative, but sometimes I would have an opinion on an issue. But you know what? Now I'm so much more careful, because I now look at it from the eye of the receiver. You know, so before I put a harsh comment about anybody or any situation, no matter how like valid my opinion is, I consider how the person reading it will feel or take it. And then if I realize that it's not going to do any justice to the situation or make the person feel any better about themselves or the situation, I just don't say anything. You know, I delete the comment or I just scroll past.
Because you've lived it.
Because I've lived it, and it's not
Yeah.
fair. But I will say, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping, B. Do you understand? If no one
That's
talks about you,
true.
you're not popping.
That's
Just
true,
know that.
that's true,
So
that's
when I
true.
see the hatred, I'm like, obviously I'm doing something right. Otherwise, your chest will not be burning the way it is.
You can say that again. Well, it's no secret that Instagram is curated. Photos are edited. What are your thoughts on the effects of social media on the younger generation, of the fact that it's not all as real as it seems to be?
But I feel like that's why like other platforms like Snapchat and TikTok are taking precedent, because I think it got to a point where the pressure just became too much and people were like, you know what, F it. We don't want to be this plastic. We don't want to be this fake. It's just too much. And you now have like, you know, more relatable snaps and tweets where people could just be themselves. In fact, TikTok, I know, is pretty much against like curated content. They don't want to see you in your fake element. They don't want to see you looking perfect. They want to see you waking up and just doing, you know, whatever you want to do, because that's a lot more relatable and it's a lot more preservative of people's mental health. So that's why those platforms are doing better and becoming way more popular. So I think that Instagram was good at the time that it was. It did help because it allowed people to just, you know, become more creative and like, you know, show off all this fabulous life, and people would live vicariously through like,
Yes,
you know,
it's entertainment.
it's entertainment, you know. But I think the other social media platforms have now created like a reasonable balance where if you don't want to be under that Instagram pressure, spend more time on Snapchat or TikTok. Like my Snapchat is, it's me, my worst. Do you understand? That's where I share my thoughts when I wake up in the morning. No makeup, hair, just anyhow. Like if you're on my Snap, you know the real me. My Instagram is, I only post when I look perfect on
Yeah,
Instagram.
I think that's what most people do anyway. That's what
Literally.
Instagram is for. It's
Yeah.
like a magazine for you,
Yeah.
for yourself. Did you see that France is proposing a law which would fine influencers if they do not disclose that they've used a filter? Like they'll actually have I think a 5,000 euro fine that they'll have to
What?
pay.
Really?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you what you thought about it, but maybe it's the first
Oh
time you
my
hear about it.
God. How can they do that? That's so invasive. Like, I mean, filters were created as a protection for people, you know, so people can show up as their best selves, you know, at all times. That why do I have to tell you that I'm using a filter? If you can't decipher it, then that's on you.
They say that it's because it influences young people, that they think that
People
looking
look
like this
perfect.
is real and stuff like that. Like,
No, I think those young people know that it's a filter, but to make me disclose, hi guys, hello, this
like
is
when
me with a
people do
filter.
things like this, for example.
But I think it's pretty obvious that that's a filter.
Yeah.
I think anybody who saw that
She
would
doesn't
know.
need to say it.
You
Yeah,
don't need to say it.
absolutely.
Like it's, you know, what's understood doesn't need to be spoken. It's what it is.
Wise words, wise words. I mean, we'll see what happens, because even I would have to disclose it. I'm not even like an influencer, but I do use filters from time to time. Speaking of beauty and all of that, I want to talk to you a little bit about plastic surgery. I always tell people I'm not shy to say that I've done my nose. I've done a little bit of Botox, but I feel like Botox doesn't even count as plastic
Not
surgery.
to Nigerians.
Even in the world, it's just
To Nigerians, it's a very big deal. It's like it's a very big deal. They don't take it.
Really?
Yeah, they think it's a bad thing.
oh, I thought you were saying the opposite.
No.
Phew, for me,
Yeah.
it's like
For some
It's like-
Nigerians, you do Botox, don't do that, or don't
Really?
destroy your face. Don't like it's a big deal.
May I ask you if you've ever had any work done?
So I had Botox yesterday in my masseter area, and I've had fillers. The last time I had fillers was like a year ago. Yeah, I had a little bit of chin fillers and like tear trough like under my eyes. That's it.
But these are non-invasive, so
But
then-
people feel like people still think that it's like whenever I post stuff like that, they're like, "Don't do that. How can you do that? You're destroying your face." Like they actually think it's such a bad thing. I think people just need to be educated a little bit more to understand that it's
Absolutely.
not a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when they say Botox, they don't actually know what they're talking about.
People don't. One of my really close friends, I had to explain to her yesterday what Botox meant, and that Botox and fillers are not the same thing. Like it's two different things.
Exactly. Like when
She
I
didn't
went for
understand.
Botox, my husband said, "Oh, I don't want you to look like Donatella." I was like, "Who? That is not Botox. That is a whole other level. That is not, it's not Botox that's gonna make you look like Donna." I'm sorry to say,
Exactly.
but she does. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Um, what do you think the trend is these days, plastic surgery wise? And do you think the BBL trend is dying down?
It's not dying down. It's dead. On arrival. The BBL look is dead. So anyone who's looking to go and get a BBL look is dead. Like, don't do that. The look now is like skinny frame, with like a nice skinny waistline
Okay.
and like slight hips. But anything with like a massive bum.
So you think the Nicki Minaj look is
gone completely. They're all removing. They're
They are.
even the Kardashians. Everybody's removing
You
for a
saw
reason.
Black China removed
She's
everything.
removed everything because she knows now it's actually not a good look to look like that. Because first of all, you look like everybody else.
True.
So guess what? You don't stand out anymore.
True.
Whereas before, when it just started, the girls with the really curvy bodies, they stood out. But now that everybody has a really curvy body, you don't stand out. And then secondly, like obviously with like fashion trends, like body trends move and evolve and adapt. And right now, the look is just to be like nice and fine and skinny. So anyone that's
No, I agree.
yeah, anyone that's trying to do any surgery, like I would advise like maybe take out, don't put in if
Yeah.
you wanted to do surgery.
Or if you
because
want to put in, keep it in the
keep it
limit of
minimal, where like it
minimal.
fills out your clothes a little bit, or like
Exactly.
but
Or
not
like if you've had kids and your chest is falling down and you're really insecure about it.
So,
then-
so that's what I want to do. Like I want to.
Me too.
I want to get my boobs done. Do you know what? I'm so desperate. I think I might do it next month. I just need to find a really good doctor in Turkey. If you know anyone, hit me up because I want to do it.
Well, I think it's not a difficult operation. So it's not one
Yeah.
of those like dangerous ones that you'd
Yeah.
be worried about.
And I heard that the healing time isn't like too terrible.
Yeah, it's not so bad. I think like 3 weeks. But I will, after kids, if the boobs are down to my knees, 100% you'll give me the name of your doctor.
Yes,
and
I'm
I'll
not
be
waiting
there.
for kids. I'm doing it. And for me, like, it's not about anybody. I don't give a shit what people think.
No, it's for
It's
you.
about how I feel, how I want to look in my clothes, how I want to fill out my clothes. And of course, you know how guys are like, oh, don't do it. I'm doing it.
First of all, it's not for you, guy,
Exactly.
Mr. Man. It's for me.
Exactly.
Do you have any beauty tips for ladies and men out there?
I feel like for beauty, like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I don't feel like you necessarily have to follow like societal standards of beauty, because sometimes like there's just so much pressure from like, the world and celebrities and social media, and everybody feels like they need to look a certain way. But then what happens when that look is no longer in trend, and then there's now another look? You're going to keep changing your face and your body and everything to like adapt. You can't do that. So sort of like work with what you have. I'm a
with what you
strong
have.
believer in like, see what God has given you. If you can change it, change it. If you can't, work with it. And trust me, people always align.
It's true.
People
Confidence
always align.
is key.
That's the best thing. Sometimes you see a guy going for like, this girl, she's butter, she's ugly, but she's confident. She's
Exactly.
owning that look. She's owning her ugliness. Like, hey, I've walked in the room with my crusty lips, and the guys, they love that. So don't succumb to anything.
It's true. It's true. So the question on everyone's mind, just to go back to the Real Housewives, will there be a season 2? And if there is, will you do it?
I feel like both questions, that's going to be telling. I think watch and find out. Will there be a season 2? If it was you, would you have renewed us for a season 2?
I would, because everybody watched it and enjoyed it. So in terms of like the production, if I was the producer, hell yes. If I was you guys, it depends on how you feel about the situation. But if like I made money from the show, 100%.
So I think you have to watch and find out.
Okay, ooh, stay tuned for that. Well, I hope that if it happens, you'll come back here and give us a little scoop if it happens. By the way, really, I don't know. I mean, it sounds like we're saying, but I actually don't know. I just like to push for the tea. I'm just trying to push. And speaking of reality TV, have you watched the second season of Young, Famous, and African?
I'm actually watching it currently. Have you
Okay.
watched it?
I think I'm at episode 8.
Yeah, I'm on 7.
Yeah, and I think there's only 9 or even 8. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
I'm actually. Do you know what? I didn't watch season 1.
Me neither. Me neither. I mean, I was encouraged to watch it because my good friend Joyce Jacob was the head of hair and makeup on the show, so I started watching it.
Yeah.
And I'm entertained. I am
I'm actually
entertained.
quite impressed. I watched season 1 on Instagram, so like the little snippets here and there. But with season 2, like I'm actually watching it. I'm enjoying it. Like I'm sort of like binge watching it, and everything is good. So all the things that I feel like people complain about in the first season, like all the hair, the makeup, the fashion, I feel like this season they're bringing it.
Yeah. Shout out Joyce who did the hair and makeup because
Hey,
you mentioned that it's better.
So it looks really good. Aesthetically, of course, the ambiance of like the entire show looks really good. Yeah, so shout out to Peace as well. I think that Peace and Martin are doing an amazing job, producing such a fancy show. And for me, anything that puts Africa on the map, I'm all the way here for.
Are you friends with any of the cast members?
Yes, so I'm friends with Swanky. I'm friends with Bonang. Kanye and I are cool as well. Zari I've met once in person at Swanky's event.
Oh yes.
Um,
The event that caused quite a stir
I
on the
know.
show. But I didn't even know it caused a stir, but it did.
Annie and I are cool, like, hello, hi.
Nice.
Who else is there? I haven't met any of the other cast members. I haven't met the guys either.
Was there ever a moment that you wished you were on that show instead of Real Housewives?
So to be honest, I feel like maybe at the beginning of filming, I don't know if YFA had come out, but I feel like naturally I would have felt like maybe, oh, these are more my peers or people that I would have probably related to a bit more.
This is why I asked you this question.
Yeah, initially, but now that like obviously I've gotten to like know the ladies of Real Housewives, we formed the relationship, established the connection that we have. I love some of them, and I wouldn't change the situation. Do you know what I mean? I don't regret meeting them. I love them. We have like friendships for life. I pray.
Amazing.
So yeah, I don't regret it at
And
all.
it's so cool to be on. It's a huge franchise.
Yeah.
Do you know when it started? Actually, I don't know if I've ever told you this. When it was announced that Real Housewives of Lagos was going to be a thing, I had all of my friends from the UK, from France, in the US message me, "Oh my God, are we going to see you? Oh my God, are we going to see you?" I was like, no, I'm not at that level. But like my friend is on it and they're like, "Oh my God, will we see you in the background?" Because this franchise has such a huge fan base. So everyone was like, "Oh my God, I don't know if my friend is on it." So you were my flex. Thank you very much. You were my flex.
Okay, girl.
I saw that you visited Hilda Bassi's cooking station when she was breaking her world record. Her world record. What was that like? What was the vibe there?
So first of all, I got there really late. I just come from, an event.
Yeah.
I saw it on some blogs because I was like fancily dressed.
I saw your outfit and I was like, she must have been coming from somewhere.
Tatiana, that's because you have sense. That's because you have sense. A lot of Nigerians choose not to have sense. It was 5 a.m. when I got there because obviously it was all night.
Obviously. The whole 100 hours. You
It's
got
5
there at
a.m.
hour 70 something. Or
It was,
80
I think,
something.
84, which was at 5 a.m. on the day that I got there. Obviously, you see me dressed up. Anyone that had sense would know that obviously she's just coming from somewhere. People are like, how could she go dressed up so fancy, Chama? You don't know when to dress that. I was like, are you guys actually dumb? You see that it's 5 a.m. So what? I woke up at 3 a.m., called makeup artist, called hairstylist, called someone to dress me to go there at 5 a.m. Because they were like, oh, you want to steal the attention? If I want to steal the attention, I won't go there at 5. I'll go there at smack bang in the afternoon where everybody's there. I won't go there where everybody's asleep. Like, Nigerians, make it make sense. I just ignore, like, these things don't even faze me, honestly. But for me, it was important to support another woman. I feel like what she was doing was so phenomenal. Like when she started it, in my head somewhere, I was like, this is like impossible to do. So I just assume that like, I don't know that she's gonna make it. But then just seeing as she was going, the momentum around it, the fact, and every time I saw videos of her, she'll be smiling, like she's still smiling, she's still like cooking, she's asking people what they want to eat. I was like, nah, this is incredible.
Did you feel the exhaustion in the air or not really?
So when I got there, she was tired. I mean, of course,
Understandably
she was
so.
physically exhausted, physically tired. But guess what? When she saw me, her face lit up. She was like, "Oh my God, yeah." She was like, "Oh my God," and for as many minutes or hours that I spent, I felt like there was a boost in morale. Which is what happens when another woman supports another
support.
woman, and that's women can't take this for granted. Like, we're our biggest cheerleaders. There's no support a man can give you that will mean as much as when another woman comes and supports you. So for me, it was imperative. I was like, I cannot watch another woman do this and not lend my support, even if I had to be there at 5 a.m. rushing from somewhere, and I had to only be there for 45 minutes. I was like, I'm gonna go. And guess what? She insisted that I eat her seafood okra. She was like, no, wait, because I never had seafood okra.
Okay.
I don't like. I'm not a big fan of like soup, so I run away from it. But she was like, she said, trust me, this one's different. She's like, wait to eat it. When I was about to leave, I was like, would I have to go? She's like, no, wait for the okra. I was like, okay, I'll wait. And then she dished it. She served it to me. This was the best. I was like, what in the world? This was incredible. Like the best soup I'd ever tasted before. And I love amala and ewedu, but this actually topped it.
I mean,
really
a
good.
big win for women and a big win for Nigerian women and Nigeria in general.
In general.
So, well done to Hilda
Well
Bassi.
done,
Well done.
well done.
I have a few questions from Twitter to ask you.
Okay.
That I saw that people chat about on Twitter. First of all, do you believe there's a misconception out there about you?
1,000,000,000%.
Which one would you say is the
I don't
biggest
know. I feel like
misconception?
so many people just. First of all, I'll say if you don't know me, whatever you think of me, I'm actually the opposite. For the people out there, like whatever you think Chioma Good Hair is, think of the opposite in your mind. That's the real me. Because I feel like I said, I don't give off so much on social media. Like I'm not necessarily like talking or interacting or doing too much. So people just assume that, oh, she's stuck up, she's not friendly, she's snobbish, she thinks she's better than everybody else. I couldn't be any more down to earth. I'm the most goofy of all my friends. I'm forever the life of the party. Like I'm so chilled, I'm so like fun, but I think people just see like maybe the way that I carry myself, with so much confidence, and they feel like there's an air around me that is so like, snooty and all of that. And I'm not that way inclined at all, People think that I'm mean. I'm not mean. Probably one of the most caring people in the world, And another thing that I feel like is the opposite. People, I think that I'm wild. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm bold and confident. They all, how Nigerians are. They associate that with like potentially being wild. And I'm probably one of the most conservative people that I know in this world.
Well, yeah, but you just mentioned that when you wear an outfit that's too revealing, you're not so comfortable.
I'm not comfortable, and like even just everything that has to do with being wild and whatnot. I'm actually the opposite.
Well, that's a pretty good answer. I want to ask you about your fellow owner of the Good Hair franchise, Kika. Clearly, you're both very good friends. You often refer to her as your sister.
My sister, yeah.
In one of the first episodes of Real Housewives, you came to her defense in regards to some things that had been written about her on Laura Ikeji's sister's blog, Linda Ikeji. Do you feel compelled to always defend each other, you and Kika, in public?
Kika's my sister. You come for her, you come for me. You come for me, you come for her. So it will always be that way.
I feel loyalty is a big also character trait of yours.
100%. I'm extremely loyal. She's also quite loyal. So for us, like we're one and the same, and we'll always have each other's backs for life.
It's beautiful to have a friend or a sister like that.
Yeah.
I saw on Twitter that there's a rumor you're dating the Banj.
Huh?
Yeah.
Jesus. Jesus. Nigerians, like literally we took I think it must have been maybe the Arise fashion show, one of the fashion shows earlier on, and he looked dope, I looked dope, we took a picture together, or we took a couple pictures together.
In the celebrity world, that's dating.
Apparently, I didn't know that. Apparently, anyone that you take a picture with is now your boyfriend, so definitely not dating, nothing like that. He's like a brother, it's not even that type of party at all.
All right. But is there anybody in your love life at the moment? Ooh, okay. If I'm lucky, she'll tell me in private. Do you have a type though in general?
I feel like my type is evolving. What I thought was my type, I think is changing. Do you know what's so funny? And I said this to my sister on the way here. I was like, it's so funny because growing up and even as far as like as close as like 2 years ago. If anybody said to me, you know, oh, money's very important, I'll be like, no, money's not that important. You know, it's all about love, and you must like, you know, love the person genuinely, and if you get along and your values and this and that. And I completely underestimated the importance of finances in a relationship. And truly, this is who I am. You know, I like good things, don't get me wrong, but I work hard to ensure that I can provide those things. If a guy gives me stuff, great, but you know, that would have never been like the prerequisite for me in a relationship. But I think the older that I get, the more that I know myself and what I need and what I respond to, I think finances are also important. So whereas before I would have said, oh, it doesn't matter if he had money or not. I think now it matters. He must have money. He must be doing either as well as I'm doing or better. Because anything less than that, eventually you're going to irritate me.
You know, it's incredible because you're so true to yourself, so that when it will happen, it will last.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
you're not like, I don't want to say lying to yourself,
Yes.
but you know what I mean?
Yes.
Maybe like, oh, I don't need this, but knowing in the back of your head.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I said to my sister. I said, that's why a lot of marriages don't last, because people are not honest with themselves. And trust me, when people are dating, you see the red flags, you see it, you choose to ignore it. That's why you enter that situation and you end up leaving after 6 months, after 1 year, after 2 years. You saw the red flags. You chose to enter that because but I don't blame people. Because African society puts a lot of pressure when it comes to marriage after a certain age. Once you clock a certain age, you're now old goods. You know, it's so everyone's under pressure to
And
get.
Arabic society as well.
It's the same, right? Everybody wants to get married before a certain age, and so people end up settling for people that they have no business being with in the first place. And then before you know it, it's all crashing, crumbling. Kids are involved and whatnot, you know.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I respect people that walk away from the marriages. I actually have more respect if you walk away from a dying situation than when you die there. It doesn't make any sense to me, you know. But how about you avoid it in the first place? Like, why put yourself in that position knowingly? You know what I mean? So, but yeah, hopefully God's time and
God's time, I'm sure. Everything happens in its due course. Before we finish, I want to play a little game with you.
okay.
So I'm going to ask you some pop culture facts. No. Okay. So I'm going to ask you some questions about social media and all of that. So
Okay.
I'll make a deal with you. If you get the answer, I drink. And if you don't get the answer, you have a shot.
Oh my God. Okay.
So, first of all, who do you think is the most successful cast member ever of all of the Real Housewives franchises put together?
Oh my God. I don't know about successful, but the most popular will have to be Nene Leakes.
No, I mean, according to the stats I found regarding net worth or how many books she's released, Instagram followers on TikTok.
Oh, jeez.
You know her.
Now I wish I watched more of them. Is it Portia?
Yes.
Oh, Portia. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it is.
Oh, wow.
It is.
That's
Portia
incredible. I
Williams.
didn't know. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
According to the internet, she has a net worth of $5 million, has released 4 books, has nearly 7 million followers on Instagram, and she can earn more than $20,000 per sponsored posts on Instagram.
Oh, wonderful. Do you know, a lot of people say that we look alike. I get that all the time.
okay.
So many people. When she got married, I kept getting messages. You got married, you didn't tell me. I was like, guys, I'm not married.
Oh my gosh. Well, so who's going to take the shot? I'm sorry.
No, you.
Okay, fine. I'll take one for the team. As the host, I'll take one for the team. Oh my gosh. What was the name of the show that initially made Cardi B a household name?
Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah, that one was too easy. That one was too easy.
At this rate, I'm going to carry you out.
At least you guys see that it's nighttime. Last time we shot this and did this, it was 9 a.m. So at least now it's nighttime. Who is the most followed celebrity on Instagram?
Wait, I know this. I know this. Is it Selena Gomez?
No, oh my God, thank God, because I didn't want to have another
Is it
shot.
Kylie Jenner?
No.
Kim Kardashian?
No.
Beyonce?
No,
Taylor Swift?
no, it's Cristiano Ronaldo.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my
But
God.
Selena Gomez is up there. Oh, finally.
Oh my
I was
God.
actually, I need a minute. Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo is he's almost up to 500 million followers.
What?
And do you know how much he makes per sponsored post?
How much?
$2 million.
Wow.
So just to say, like, I shave with Gillette, that's
$2 million. Oh my God, I tap into that greatness in Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name, please, yes. This is actually a funny fact I found on the internet. What do you think is the most Instagrammed food?
Would it be McDonald's?
No, okay, so
Is it
it's like a dish, not a restaurant.
Is it some type of spaghetti?
You're not far.
Lasagna? Is it carbonara?
No. It's pizza.
Pizza.
Pizza. And pizza takes the lead, and just behind it is sushi.
Okay.
So yeah, fun fact of the day.
Oh gosh.
There's only 3 more
Oh,
questions.
my favorite sushi. How could I miss that?
There's only 3 more. Also my favorite. Do you know how many Real Housewives franchises are there?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, okay, in the US,
Okay, let me see.
if that's easier, because there's a lot more in the world.
So obviously there's the Hollywood one. There's Atlanta. There's New Jersey. There's Potomac.
There's many.
There's a lot. There's a lot more than I'm saying.
No, you're saying, but there's.
Let me just say 7, 9.
It's 11. But I'll take it because you just had to. I'll take it. It's 11. 11 in the US and 19 international.
Oh wow.
So pretty.
Wow. I should know that.
You
Well,
are
at least now I know.
You are part of a big successful family.
Mm-hmm.
In fashion, do you know who came up with the concept of the little black dress?
Is it Coco Chanel?
Yes, well done. It is Coco Chanel. Well done.
At least I got the fashion one right.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay. What do you think is the oldest modern item of clothing? Like the oldest type of item of clothing that we still use today, not like loincloth or something like that.
The corset.
That actually makes sense, but that's not what I found online. That actually does make sense.
Is it like shoes or?
No, it's something you wear.
You wear. I don't know. What is it?
The skirt.
Okay.
The skirt is the oldest item of clothing.
Okay.
But I mean, it does like make a lot of sense. I think it's the easiest.
I feel like we should split this because the corset would have been
okay.
like a
Fine.
reasonable one.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
So the next question is, can you guess what is the oldest luxury brand still in operation?
I learnt this recently. Somebody told me this. My ex, that's French, told me this recently. What is it again?
Okay, let me help you. You can guess it easily.
Easily.
Yeah.
It's not Chanel.
No, but it is.
Hermes.
Yes.
It's not. Let me show you.
Really? It was founded, it says, in 1938 by Thierry Hermes. The designer originally produced saddles and riding gear.
Okay, let's see.
What is the oldest designer brand? And no, it is not Hermes. It's actually a Belgian luxury brand called Delvaux. It's been around since 1829 and they were the first to patent a handbag, and even though they are priced similar to Hermes, they don't sell as much because they don't want to mass produce their items. Delvaux only has 50 stores worldwide, but what's really special is that they'll fix any item you have, no matter how old it is. Delvaux got acquired by Richemont, who also owns Cartier and Van Cleef. What's your opinion about the brand?
Last but not least, how much do you think is a ticket to the Met Gala?
$30,000?
You're so close.
40,000?
35.
5.
Okay, last one, you and I.
Okay.
One for the road, as we say. Sorry, please forgive my Disneyland shot glasses. Woo. Okay, I'll see you in the club after this, after all this tequila we had. We tried.
You're carrying me out of here because...
Chioma, thank you so much for taking the time out of your super busy schedule to come here today. It was really an honor.
Thank you for having me. It was so interesting, actually.
Yeah, I'm so glad. Guys, if you haven't seen it yet, season 1 of Real Housewives of Lagos is out. Fingers crossed we'll get to season 2. We don't know yet. We don't know that yet, but watch this space. Thank you so much, Chioma.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.